welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Sometimes you just have to chuckle because it gets very culture-y up in here. Kelsey Mitchell's twin sister, Chelsea Mitchell, has apparently upset some people. I ran across some news, did a little research, and I just have to say, I'm going to share what it is, but I'm also going to point our attention to Caitlin Clark and how she handles situations. A lot of people can learn a whole lot from Caitlin Clark. So we're going to go over to Chelsea Mitchell's Facebook page and set the stage. I'm over here on Facebook, and someone named Steve Brown posted this, and then Chelsea Mitchell reposted it. I'm on her page, and we're going to see what she said when she reposted it. But Steve Brown said on June 25th, Clark's delusional fans can stay mad at me and call me all the names in the book, but we all saw, including y'all, who carries my fever team. And we all know who the offense should be ran through. Whether you like it or not, these two players, obviously talking about Kelsey and Aaliyah, so whether you like it or not, these two players can win some games without Clark, but Clark can't win a single game without them. Hashtag argue with your mama. Okay, Steve Brown. Now we're going to go up to what Chelsea Mitchell said when she reposted it on July 1st. I gotta agree. That came from Chelsea Mitchell, apparently Kelsey Mitchell's sister. I gotta agree, she said. I just happened to stop by X because I don't like to hang out there, unlike some of y'all, I guess. Why anybody wants to hang out on the cesspool known as X is beyond me. I just kind of pop in and out here and there. I popped in. I started seeing some comments. I wasn't sure what was up. Came back to it afterwards, did a little research, and I get the story. Chelsea Mitchell reposted something that was obviously trying to downplay Caitlin Clark and her impact, and trying to say basically that they don't need Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston should be getting credit because they can win without her, but she cannot win without them. People will say what people will say, obviously, and people on the cesspool known as X will not like it, but they especially decided to engage when they realized that Chelsea Mitchell reposted it and said she agreed with it. Not cool, Chelsea Mitchell, but what ended up happening after that is what is to be expected. And I'm not going to get into all the comments over there on X, but it became a situation where people then started disrespecting Kelsey Mitchell, disrespecting Aaliyah Boston, reminding everybody that before Caitlin was on the team, Kelsey Mitchell, who had been there for quite some time, had not been a winner. That the year before Caitlin got there, Aaliyah Boston was there and was not a winner. And so now we get a sister who reposts something, and then who takes the brunt of that? Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, because the fans obviously decided that they're going to go after them and try to denigrate them and what they did. Something said, look at the stats before Caitlin got there. And so now we're seeing exactly what happens when social media takes over. And that is people then come against Caitlin's own teammates. Now, I'm telling you, if you did not watch my video in the preseason about the survival guide for the 2025 season, you really need to do that, because I'm telling you, so many of the things I talked about in that video are coming to pass before our very eyes. People, you got to be mature. What Kelsey's sister said is not what Kelsey said. Now, I am not in favor of family members getting on there and running their mouths. It takes discipline to shut your mouth. It takes maturity to shut your mouth. Caitlin Clark, she's not on social media running her mouth. Her parents are not on social media just running their mouths. I don't know. I mean, I don't follow them, so I assume that they're not. I'm pretty sure they're not. She has a brother. I know he said something after the Connecticut game and blamed Caitlin's injury on officiating. And I don't think he's wrong on that. I guess he deleted it since, but I don't think he's wrong. But he didn't go after Caitlin Clark's teammates. He said something about the officiating, and the officiating needs to be called out. But family members should be mature enough not to engage themselves in that. Just be quiet. Sometimes you get these players, their mama's out there talking smack, and now you got a sister out there talking smack. It's just beneath you, I think. And it puts Kelsey in a bad situation. Kelsey and Caitlin, you hear them speak well of each other. Seems like the road was bumpy early last season. And you hear Kelsey, C squared. She speaks well of her. She credits her for all the people showing up and all that. But you get one dude from who knows where putting up some weird post, and then you get a sister who decides to repost it and agree. And now you've got people coming after the people you say you're supporting, along with supporting Caitlin Clark. And again, this is where that cesspool comes in. Why grown people, some grandparents, parents and grandparents, why they're out there arguing with random people on social media is beyond me. Why? Like, Caitlin's a grown woman. She can handle herself. You don't need to come after her teammates to show that, you support Caitlin Clark for something that Caitlin's teammate didn't say. Well, it's her family member. She should check her family member. I don't know about y'all, but I got some family members I can't check. I don't agree with everything they say, for sure. I don't have to agree with everything they say, and I certainly don't. But don't blame me for what they said. Don't come after me. Anyway, I just want to draw our attention to Caitlin Clark and the maturity she has. Not only is she not on social media talking junk, not only do you not see her parents on social media talking junk, going after her teammates or other players in the league. As far as I know, she has a real grown-up approach to social media as a whole. I want to go back to her conversation. I guess I was going to call it an interview. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't watch any of it until a few minutes ago, actually. But I want to go back to her conversation with Megan Rapinoe and with Sue Bird during All-Star Weekend. Just a little portion when she talks about social media. Take notes. So I'm going to go over to YouTube a touch more with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe.
But what is it like? What is it like for you, and how do you process that and deal with all that?
Well, I think first, you have to remember, like, social media is just like such a false perception of reality. And even for myself, like, you don't always realize that at times, like, it's not the real world. And, when you're in a position of, people are going to love you, people aren't going to like you. But I think when I show up to arenas, those are the moments that, like, really remind me of, like, how many people are really there supporting you and loving you. Like, the little boys and the little girls, those are the people that are on social media, like, caring about every decision you make or every comment you make. But also at the same time, I feel like I just try to show up every single day and be myself and approach it that way and just be authentically me. And whether that's hard questions or hard moments, whatever it is, I think you kind of just take it as it goes. And you know, I always try to remind myself how lucky I am to be here and be in this position too. Like there would be so many people that would kill to be in my shoes. So, you know, there's gonna be hard moments, but at the same time, there's been a lot of really good moments too. So that's kind of what I just try to remind myself, honestly.
Like I said, take notes. I don't like what Chelsea Mitchell said, but I don't confuse that with Kelsey Mitchell. I don't know what Kelsey Mitchell thinks about what the dude said on Facebook, but I'm certainly mature enough not to blame Kelsey for what her sister said. It gets real tricky, especially when family members are not demonstrating maturity. I'll admit that. We saw it with not necessarily family members, but we saw it with like Dejanay and Melissa. And it's like, really? I mean, it starts to get really dicey for other people when people who are supposedly in your corner start just acting, just doing stuff. And Chelsea obviously did stuff there, and it's just not, what's the point of it? And it just creates tension. But for folks to be out there on social media arguing and trying to pick fights with people, it's maturity is something that we get to see in that moment right there with Caitlyn, who says social media is not reality. You're arguing with these people who, unlike Caitlyn and what she said right there, who tries to show up and be her authentic self, you're out there arguing with people who are not authentic. They're not being authentic. They're not being fair. They're just at the keyboard spouting off. And I just feel like you're Kelsey Mitchell, you're Leah Boston. They're now the ones being attacked. Their stats from the past being attacked. Meanwhile, they see Caitlin Clark as their teammate. Do they have battles, teammate to teammate to teammate? Probably. You know, you're in that locker room. You spend a whole lot of time together, perhaps. But they're not the ones on social media talking trash. Like I said, take notes about what Caitlyn said. She's 23 years old, and yet she demonstrates a lot more maturity than some of what you see out there in the cesspool known as X. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.